to shoot both of them, or you could use both attacks on one.
I'll try to shoot both of them.
Okay. All right, roll the other attack as well.
You want me to roll both the attacks first
Yep.
before I do damage?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So a 22 and a 20 to hit. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll damage for each. They both hit. All right. Squirrels have 1 hit point. So you look up into the tree, you see both of the squirrels, and in a flash, you knock and loose 2 arrows that by the time the first arrow hits the first squirrel, like the second squirrel doesn't, even though it's a freaking squirrel, it doesn't have the chance to react as another arrow sticks into that one. Both of them kind of go up into the air with the momentum of the arrows for a little while before descending down through the canopy and to the ground about 30 feet away from you. And you go to collect them. Yeah, you now have 2 gray squirrels that you have successfully hunted.
Can I keep looking around for more? Like, I can put them in my little bag and keep looking around.
Yeah, make another survival check. Nice. Yeah, it's not too long after that you do actually spot up in another tree. You do actually spot a few more squirrels just at different points in the branches. There are 3 squirrels here.
I'll try to shoot 2 of them.
Do it.
Oh my god, I actually have a funny story about my little brother hunting a squirrel when I was a kid.
Okay.
I'll tell it later.
What was that? So a 16 and a 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they both hit. You can roll damage if you want, but like I said, you definitely got them. Again, both arrows fly, and both you get 2 of the squirrels. The third squirrel darts off.
Okay.
Into the canopy. You've got 4 squirrels now.
I think 4 squirrels is good enough for all of us. So I'm gonna take the squirrels back.
All right. So Stevie returns. That was definitely like some very quick and efficient hunting. Stevie returns not long after. This is before Fizzy returns. River, you've got the stew cooking. You're still in the process of cooking it when you see Stevie return with 4 squirrels. Just have like her bag and like comes over and pulls 4 squirrels out, and like she's already like field dressed them and everything.
Okay, so they're ready to be cooked.
They're not butchered. They're just field dressed, so like gutted and skinned.
Gotcha.
But you could easily just like quarter it, and if you wanted.
Oh yeah, River will cut it up however that works, and then add it to stew.
Okay.
Don't forget the brains. It's the best part.
Horror has no idea how that works. I'm assuming River has at least some idea.
As far as like getting the brains out and stuff.
Eat them like an oyster. Suck them right up there.
I mean,
Why
Stevie,
would you put that in my head?
Stevie, you can absolutely do that. No problem. You want to do that?
Yeah, we have no like actual knowledge
just
of hunting
gonna, like-
animals.
You know, suck it out of there like an oyster.
Oh,
Yeah. No, you guys see Stevie do this. Wow, that's so perfect for the cat. Like that's so cool. Okay, yeah.
I would just. Yeah, my eyes. I'm like covering my mouth like. Bruh.
Serious, it's the
excuse
best
me while I
part.
go through.
There's 3 more. Does anybody want to try it?
No!
Are you sure that's safe?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Insight
I
check.
think you don't want to waste it, but like, come on.
This is what we do. It really tastes good. I'm not kidding.
You sure?
Yes, come on, you can do it.
I'll say this: it's definitely canon now. They do that in where Stevie's from. They definitely do that. Fizzy, you're familiar with the custom. It might not be for you. Well, you're not there anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But no, good to know. Good to know.
But maybe for future reference, you can decide if that's something Fizzy participates in
Yeah,
as
there'll be
well.
some squirrel sucking brains jokes coming.
Sure.
You
That
know
doesn't
what?
have
River
any
will
diseases or
try.
anything.
What? River's gonna try it?
Yeah, River's gonna try it.
I'm gonna try it too, because you know what? At this point, fuck it.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so you guys each also try. You get the little squirrel skull and you put it in your mouth and you suck in the brains. It is. I don't know if you guys have ever eaten brain or not in real life.
Nope.
It's bizarre. It's very bizarre.
What does it taste like?
Honestly, like I'm gonna leave it up to you guys whether or not your
Crunchy
character
oatmeal.
actually enjoys it or not. I will say this, for both of your characters, it is very strange at least. But whether or not they enjoy it,
River enjoyed it.
you guys.
You rolled it?
Yeah, I rolled
Ah.
Alright.
I'll do the same thing, I guess. I mean, I kind of know what he would probably say. Be like, whatever. You know, it's because it's fucking.
I did 11 and higher
No.
was she liked it. 10 and lower she didn't like it. So however you
I don't know
want
if
to
I
do it.
want to roll for it, because I'm kind of sure he'd be like, whatever about it. It's not like the most amazing thing ever. You know, I'll
You're
be-
right,
he's just
Stevie.
gonna-
That's it's different, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I say the same.
Really glad. I'm really glad you guys tried it and that you River enjoyed it. I'm glad.
Yeah, I'll make sure Chloe never knows about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably tell him.
At which point Stevie spits out of her mouth and goes, "Haha, got you, suckers."
That would be
Wait. She
awesome.
fucking spat it out.
No, she didn't actually do that,
Yes,
but that would have been
every time.
hilarious.
Oh my
That would have been funny though, right?
It would be funny if then Busy walks out and goes, seriously, people fall for that all the time.
Oh,
I like that. All right, awesome. But no, River. So yeah, you try it, and surprisingly, it's a pleasurable experience. Definitely strange to you, but like you do it again. But you also quarter up the meat. Like butcher off the bones and throw it into the stew. So now we know, in hindsight, that the stew that Jasper enjoyed was a squirrel stew.
Alrighty.
Which I'm sure was great for him. So
I'm sure he did.
It wasn't
enjoy
the chipmunk he wanted, but it was getting in the right direction.
Yeah.
yeah,
And who knows, maybe we
who
can be
knows?
friends.
Squirrel might be even better than chipmunk. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
They're very closely friendly. They're very similar creatures.
All I know is I made friends with a cat.
Who now knows our location.
And Honey's probably looking at you in terror.
I mean,
And
to be
we
fair,
haven't gone
no
on
one
the
knows
yet.
this or probably told Fizzy, but Fizzy went out looking for a squirrel friend, came back, and was
We
fed
just ate
squirrel
it.
stew.
It's true. It's true. Somebody found a squirrel
Like,
nest.
do any of you play Pikmin?
I have never played it, no.
Uh-uh.
Oh, son of a bitch, never mind.
Sorry.
But anyway, if you guys want to go ahead and establish a watch,
River, go first.
Can I go second?
sure.
I'll go second with Stevie.
Alrighty.
Reg, you wanna take a watch with me?
I think I'm just gonna sleep.
Oh no, come on!
Why are you so interested in taking watch with me?
It's boring to have a watch alone. It's better with to have someone around.
I know the feeling. Alright.
I think
All
you.
right. So Jael and Rag are going third. Who's got last watch?
I will.
0. So I think everybody actually has a watch tonight. Yep, cool. Alrighty. So eventually you all find your way to your beds, save for River, who has first watch. River, if you want to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Yeah, 1 second. Perception. Alright, you lose it. No more squeaking, but I love you, buddy.
Alrighty. You keep your watch for the night. Save for the occasional owl and perhaps the occasional scurrying of a squirrel in the distance. Your watch is uneventful as you go into the night. Is there anything that you wanted to maybe do?
Sheeta just kept praying for guidance from Wee Joss, but other than that, no. She's not doing anything too specific.
Alrighty. Well, then that will bring your watch to a close. And then next up is Stevie and Fizzy.
Okay, as soon as I get this squeak toy away from my dog, stop it! You're not squeaking it anymore!
In that case, using a little bit of the force, River decides to go wake up Stevie first. No.
I'll allow it.
Okay, stop it. Now.
She'll go up to Stevie's tent and go, "Hey, Stevie, your watch is up.
Oh, okay.
You want me to get Fizzy, or do you want to get Fizzy?"
I'll go get Fizzy.
Okay.
You can go to bed.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Aha, got it.
And then River goes to bed.
Alright, so Stevie goes and gets Fizzy.
Hey, Fizzy. Hey, it's time for our watch.
Wait, what? What?
It's time. We've got to do our watch.
I'm trying to get it done, Mom, but I can't yet. I'm like, no, she gets, she wakes up and is Fizzy 2 sleeping right now?
Yes.
Okay, so she'll leave Fizzy 2. And she's all ready, with her goggles of night goggles, not goggles of night.
Goggles of night.
Thank you. And she'll head outside with Stevie.
Alright, so you guys begin your watch. If you can both make perception checks for me.
Alrighty. Oh, come on.
Do I get my +3 or no?
Yes. Alrighty, so Fizzy, you're a little distracted just thinking about your new friend,
Yeah.
Jasper the talking cat.
Yes.
But Stevie, you don't see nothing really happens. However, you do see a couple more squirrels within range. You see two more squirrels within range throughout the night. Throughout your watch, if you wanted to try to take a shot at them with your 27 perception roll.
Sure. I'll go ahead and try to hit them.
Okay.
Make good breakfast.
$18 and a 19, definitely. Yeah, so you actually managed to get two more squirrels. Fizzy, you're just kind of like thinking about Jasper and like, wonder what's up with Trixie and all that stuff. And at some point, you hear Stevie pull her bow off of her shoulder and knock an arrow and let it fly and walk into the forest, and then comes back and then does it again a little bit later. And then by the time you look over, you see that Stevie is currently field dressing two gray squirrels.
Hope you enjoyed that. The squirrel we had yesterday. It looks like we're gonna have some more for in the morning for tomorrow.
That sounds good. I was hoping I could become friends with the squirrel too, but I met a talking cat. So
But if you want to kill him,
To be friends with one now, they would just smell fear of their dead friends.
right, that's pheromones of death.
We'll find you something that fits you better than a squirrel.
You ate my cousin.
Like when you.
I can't guarantee that honey's
King
not
Jordan.
gonna go for your pet if you do choose to have a squirrel.
Well,
yeah, you see Fizzy. You look down to see the honey badger kind of just voraciously.
yeah, ferociously. Yeah, I think.
I just made a new word.
This is D&D.
Ferociously.
We can do whatever. We
Anyway,
want.
yeah, you see. I have no idea.
I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, but yeah, that's you see the honey badger just ferociously gnawing on the scraps and the guts and everything that Stevie's pulled out of these squirrels.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, she's not super bothered about it because this is life. This is kind of how she grew up. So,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, okay. It's good shot.
Cute.
Maybe one day you can give me lessons so I can try to get better.
Oh man, I would love that. That would be so much fun.
Gossip girls.
I know, right?
Alright.
Squirrels.
So as you're, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say. So everyone seemed kind of like they were worried about, my new friend that I made. I mean, did I do something wrong?
Would I be sleeping now?
No, I don't think you did anything wrong. Just a bit, this was a cat. I don't have the biggest trust in cats.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've met people who are good and bad and everything, but I don't think I've really met any animals that were bad.
Okay, but does the dragon, it's kind of an animal. I mean, it's not exactly...
Well, thinking back, I probably should have tried to talk to it and see if maybe it was really upset about something and we could have helped it. I mean, I was too scared at the moment, but, you never know what's bothering somebody.
I'm pretty sure it was just hungry for us. It was hungry for us. It was, yes.
And Stevie, you would know that dragons are like highly, highly intelligent creatures.
So,
Like usually as smart as like the smartest people, if not smarter.
yeah.
I don't know, but just think about all the things that the dragon could have been through and seen and traveled to. I mean, just a lot of interesting conversations that, you know, I might not know. And then the cat, Jasper, he could know a bunch of stuff too. So maybe one day.
And I just look over at Honey Badger, who just knows how to eat the guts from the dead squirrel. And I'm like, it's
Just about to make kind of a noise like that.
I love it.
Then just like you look down at him, and he just like looks up at you, and his eyes are wide, and he's got like blood like draining down his chin, and he just like looks up at you and just goes. And he goes like.
Yeah.
And Fizzy goes, he's just so cute.
Can he do like a Stitch smile?
Sure, smiles, and you just see like bits of intestine stuck in between the teeth.
And then Fizzy picks up a little piece and throws it to him so he can catch it.
All right.
Psychopathic Honey Badger.
Well,
Better have him on our side than anyone else's.
Anyway, to reclaim my dignity, with that, your watch comes to a close, and we come to the next watch, the third watch, which is Jael and Ragnamus.
Okay, so as we walk back, I'm like, who do you want to wake up?
I'll go wake up
Okay.
Ragnamus.
So, Fizzy will go over to Gel's tent. And then she kind of knocks like on the fabric, like if there's like a stick that kind of hangs on it, to make some sound. And she kind of knocks on it.
The whole tent collapses in on. No, I'm just
Fizzy be like, Stevie did it! Okay, so does that wake her up?
Yeah, Jael, you hear some like knocking on your tent post.
Hello?
Hello. I think it's your turn for the next watch.
Give me a moment. She kind of just stretches and then heads out. So,
Oh, I got a question for you. I got a question though.
what is it?
What's your name?
Oh, yes, I haven't told you. My name is Jael.
Jael?
Jill Valentine?
Did you see that? Put up a meme of Squidward.
It's because
No sandwich.
Sorry, I laughed so hard. I wasn't
the
expecting
accent is a little thick, but it's Jael. Jael.
Oh, okay. So, do you think you're gonna? How do you know Klonoa?
I feel like I've said this 50,000 times already. We're just friends, and I owe him a favor.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't thinking you were anything more than friends. I was just curious.
Narrator says in the background, Fizzy was definitely thinking they were more than friends.
Fizzy is sus.
Wait a minute, so there's a guy who's controlling you too? That's kind of what it's implying. You're the DM, you're supposed to be the narrator, so you're saying a narrator past that?
Don't go into like the fifth wall on this or something. We're not gonna go into.
Well, in that case, Jael's gonna look at the camera.
What if we are an alien D&D game?
Mind blown.
Exactly.
But what if we're the DM'd game of someone else's DM game that is itself a DM'd game?
Nope. Can't think
Bruh,
of
I'm not high enough for this.
I know, right? Right?
What if we're actually being controlled by a Twitch chat?
What if the cat
Oh.
is really in charge of everything?
It is. It's a cat.
It's a cat, that's true. It is in charge of everything.
Anyway,
We digress.
back to Gile and Fizzy.
Okay. Alright, well, if you, what was I gonna say? We caught some more, squirrels, too, so if you get more hungry, there's more food.
Hi, thank you. But I don't think I'll be eating tonight.
Okay, well, bye, Klonoa's just friend.
Okay.
She walks back to her tent.
Who goes up by the fire and takes a seat.
Let's force Sue's character to be love interests with his other character.
No!
I'm just kidding. Anyway, Gile takes a seat by the fire. Stevie, you go to wake up Ragnamus.
So I'm just gonna like walk in there and be like, "Hey, just trying."
Alright. I'll make my way out.
Alright, Ragnamus, you come out of your tent to see Gile sitting there by the fire. You come over and take a seat next to her. And let's go ahead and get perception checks from the both of you.
Yay!
Should we start playing a song in the background?
Gile, you are, very familiar with this pathway, and so you see, everything that you hear tonight is totally ordinary. You do think that you hear some huffing, pretty far away, but some huffing that sounds like a bear. But pretty far away, and you're not super concerned about it at this point. But you kind of keep an ear out for it, throughout the rest of the watch. And you hear it it sounds like it's moving away. So you feel pretty good, pretty content about that. Is there anything that either of you would like to do?
She's gonna have a short conversation with Drag.
Do it.
So I've been thinking, Drag, was it?
Yes, it is. And we never got your name.
You can call me Jael. Let me say that in actual, normal terms. I've been thinking about my payment.
Yeah, how much?
How much you have?
How much do you want?
She kind of knowingly gives Rag a look up and down. Is there anything you want to say to that, Rag?
I'm uninterested. I do have somebody.
Well, that might be too bad, but I think we can discuss this when we get to the village.
How
Me
about
and
a
you.
down payment? You have my word.
How much are we talking? I can't even do my voice right now. Oh!
I'm willing to offer you 700 right now. Any debt, I will do most favors later on. I'm sure they won't repay it in full, but I will pay you 700 right now.
Oh, don't worry, laddie. I know you're gonna repay it in full. I can tell just by looking at you.
He sits away from her now, like at the opposite side of the fire.
Oh, right. Well, then.
Yeah, no, that's the rest of the conversation. I can't do it anymore.
Last watch, we come to 0.
You wanna go wake up 0? God damn it.
Uh-oh. You there, Rag?
Yeah, what happened?
Gile asked if you wanted to go wake up 0.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah, I'll go wake him up.
I need some last minute sleep.
What? I didn't hear that.
I'm gonna get some last minute sleep.
Alright, go have fun.
Oh. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yep, nope, we can leave it at that. Hey!
Hey. 0.
Yeah, my turn.
Yes, it's your turn.
Sure, you got my-
I'm reading shit. I'm reading everything that's going on. Yeah, it's your turn.
Alright, well, I'll head on out. Give me a second to put on my armor here.
All right. Well, 0, you come out and take a seat by the fire and begin your watch. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is.
The 7 is it?
Yeah, let's go mid-roll again.
No. I just wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah. So, you are. You've had like a weird couple of days. Your mind is very distracted. I think your mind has been pretty distracted all day, kind of reflected in your perception rolls previously as well. And you're thinking about like the situation of your servitude, and you're a pretty rugged individualist type person, and so you're just kind of thinking, is what I have now, why is it different? Is it different? And you're having these thoughts, and it's like, despite your servitude, you're kind of comforted in the fact that you're like, well, at least I still have the ability to have my own thought. That you're having doubts is kind of comforting. But luckily nothing attacks your camp while you're thinking about these things. And that is the last watch. So as your watch is coming to a close, the light sort of sending sunbeams casting across the forest around you. The river wakes up, comes out of her tent.
Hey, morning, Rag. Sorry, that's my bad. 0. I don't know why I did that.
Yes.
Good morning.
You doing all right? You look stressed.
Yeah, just having to come to terms with the situation.
Yeah. Well, from what little you've told us, it sounds like at least you're not there where you were before anymore. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't have to worry about getting asked to do bad things or anything like that anymore, but it's still just a lot to take in.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm gonna start making breakfast. If you need to talk, just let me know.
Will do, thank you.
Yep. And then River will start making breakfast.
And the rest of you, now roused by the sound of sizzling food and the smells, you all rise from your bedrolls inside of your tents as well.
Yep, it's one of them mornings, isn't it, guys?
Good morning. Did you see the squirrels I got last night?
Yeah, River, you would have seen that there were two squirrels, like, gutted and field dressed and everything there.
Yeah, if she left it somewhere where it would have been hard to miss, then yeah, River would be using them in the breakfast. Yeah, thank you. How did you have time for this?
Oh, it was nothing. No big deal.
Alright. The way you said that makes me question it, but okay, it's early. I'll ignore it. Sorry, that gif.
I'll have you know this is not D&D related.
So, anyway. Scroll up. So how'd everyone sleep?
What did that? Why is that so cursed? I just saw it. Sorry.
That's the fun. Just another quiet night.
That's good. Alright. Well, let's eat and get cleaned up so we can head on out.
Alright, so you guys get camp all packed up and everything. You have your breakfast and then get your camp all packed up, stomp out the fire, and continue your trek to the southeast. You walk for some time, the forest continuing to grow more and more. It's like as you're walking, you start to think like, man, how is it already this dark out? Like, I know that it's fall, but everything just seems shrouded in like just a bit of darkness. And it kind of grows more and more dark as you continue into the forest. And eventually, the path that you're walking on pretty much disappears, and you are walking through forest now. You are walking through the forest floor. There is brush, there are sticks, branches, dead trees, things to get in your way, But lucky for you guys, you have a ranger who's very familiar with forests, and it doesn't slow you down. She, along with Jael, kind of guiding the direction, she's able to, like, with his direction, see, like, all right, we need to get that direction, so here's the best pathway through the forest for you guys to get through efficiently. And you do, and as you are getting deeper into the forest, it is getting darker and darker and more shrouded. And it's strange because it's not like nighttime. It's just like the shadows that are cast are just more intense. So it's not... You look up into the sky and you see that it is still daylight. It's very strange. I don't know if you guys want to mull over that any at all.
Just as a precaution, I'm gonna do a Eyes of the Grave.
Do it.
I do
I'll
it.
do divine sense.
Yes. What was that, 0?
I'll do divine sense as well.
Okay. No, nothing for either of you.
Alright. Just gonna keep my eyes peeled and keep going for now, I guess.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, Jael, this is normal. You know this to be normal. This is, there's a reason why your people settled in this place, specifically. This forest specifically. But because you're used to that, Jael, you notice when it is, like, all right, it's nighttime now, like, probably time to set up camp. So if you guys want to go ahead and set up camp, or whatever you guys want to do. Like, if you were to set up camp, now would be the time.
Right. Yeah, might as well.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll help. Should I go look for more squirrels? Or maybe something else?
Yeah. I'll get it started, and if you bring anything back, I'll add that instead of the some of the rations.
Busy, do you want to go with me and I show you some things? Maybe?
Yeah, I definitely want to go. That would be great.
You have to be, like, ultra quiet.
Okay, I'll be really quiet. I promise. I won't talk a lot at all.
Yeah, this is like I come back with these girls again. It's okay. Be fun.
All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's do this. So you guys go out into the forest to check and try to find some sort of game. It's exceptionally dark, I will say. But you're still your dark vision is you're still able to see. It's just, but you can still tell, like, wow, it's very dark. I need for both of you to make stealth checks.
This is where I'm gonna shine, everybody. Watch.
The one.
Okay. You had to say it, didn't you? I'm trying really hard.
Okay, so
Stevie, damn it.
Stevie, you begin guiding Fizzy into the forest, and you kind of crouch low, and you show her how to kind of, like, walk in a way that is silent, and you kind of point out sticks for her to watch for, to not step on. to make any loud cracking noises and large piles of leaves, and you can tell that there are some areas where like it looks like it's level ground, but there's actually some stacked leaves because the leaves are falling off the trees now. And so if you were to step there, it would just be crunching all the way down. So you're like, watch for that. And together, you guys are able to move pretty quietly. So go ahead. I'll say you guys can either each make survival checks, or or Stevie could make a survival check with advantage. Either way.
What you want to do?
I mean, I guess you should probably roll for both of us.
Okay.
We know which one is mine, guys.
Sure, yeah. So as you're walking and you get far enough away from camp that you're like, all right, we're far enough now that we can actually like consider starting to check for animals, because we're out of a radius where they would have been spooked by our party. And so you start watching and looking for things, Stevie, and like kind of trying to guide Fizzy's eye as well. Like here, you want to look for these kinds of things here, and Stevie, you're watching Stevie, and she's saying words. She's definitely saying words. But Stevie, you are able to find some tracks. These appear to be hoof prints that you are able to deduce are probably from some kind of stag or a deer.
So Fizzy's like pointing to it and looking at her like, oh, look, but she's not saying anything. She's like, very avidly like pointing to it. Oh, did we just
Stevie's seeing this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I got your names mixed up there, maybe.
No,
but yeah,
sorry.
Stevie is seeing this. Points it out to you.
Okay.
Okay. So I need for you guys to both make you're gonna follow the tracks here, but I need you to both make stealth checks again.
Uh-oh.
Aww.
All right, and go ahead and make your survival checks.
Oh, okay. Survival.
And same thing. Either both of you can roll, or Stevie can roll with advantage.
I already rolled.
So, Stevie, you follow the tracks, and as you are following through, you're not sure which one of you it was, but you hear a crunching of leaves, and then you hear like a noise, like an exhaling of air quickly, and you look up to see about 20 yards away from you a deer. It's a buck. It's got antlers, and it is looking at you now. Its tail is up, and it is stomping the ground.
I look to Stevie for guidance.
We should probably shoot it.
So it is going to attempt to run. So just for the purposes of this, go ahead. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, Stevie.
Okay.
Is this a bad time to mention that I don't have a bow?
Oh yeah, Stevie's going to be doing the shooting here.
Yeah.
Maybe.
13. All right. Well, the deer rolled a 10, so you can go ahead and try to shoot the deer. All right, so 28, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Nice. All right, so Fizzy, you look to Stevie, and Stevie just quickly, like, you hear this crunching, you guys both stop, and then you hear the hoofing, and you look over to see the deer, and as you turn your head, Fizzy, to look to Stevie, you see she's already got an arrow knocked, and she lets it fly. You quickly follow the arrow with your eyes, and you see it impact the deer right, like at the behind the front shoulder, and the deer like kind of jumps and then like runs a little bit, and then you hear it like fall.
All right. Looks like deers for dinner.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now I need you to help me carry this sucker because it's gonna be heavy. We need a big stick.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I mean, I have my quarterstaff. I don't know if that'll help.
We can just chop a little tree down.
Oh.
I mean, quarterstaff would work perfectly. If you got some rope, you could like tie up a harness, and you guys could both pull on the quarterstaff and drag the deer. You'd want to, so you would know this, Stevie. You'd want to go ahead and field dress it here.
Yeah.
And you can do that. That's like a walk in the park for you. You got this deer, and go ahead. So it's significantly lighter now, and you guys rig up with Fizzy's quarterstaff. Is it the staff of the Woodlands?
No, I have a regular quarterstaff as well. So I'm using the regular quarterstaff.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So just a regular quarterstaff, and you guys both like put the quarterstaff, like one half of it up on your shoulders, like behind you, and you both start pulling, and you it takes you guys some time, but you're able to drag the body back to camp. All of you are still awake, and you see Stevie and Fizzy return with the frickin' deer.
That is not a squirrel. I was promised squirrel. No, kidding. That's
Sure,
awesome.
you can work with this.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going back to where Jael is from, right?
Who?
Yes. Oh.
We're going. Yeah. Okay. So the halfling. We're going back. We can take some of this to her people.
I'm okay, you know.
Do they like deer?
With this food? Just normal squirrel brain.
This also has a brain.
Please no. For the love of God, no.
I actually haven't heard of anyone eating deer brains. I don't think deer brains.
Well, you ain't from where I'm from, then. Yeah, man, you need deer brains.
We're from the city.
I mean, you can. Whether or not you do is up to you, but you certainly can.
We know
You
absolutely.
probably want to cook deer brains.
Yeah, I would say we probably want to cook them.
Man, in real life, we have
That's up to
absolutely
you.
no knowledge about hunting.
Does Stevie say that we should cook the brains? Because if she asks River to do it, she will try.
It's like scrambling eggs. That's how you cook brains. Just like scrambling eggs.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not.
Wait, like in
my
real life,
question-
it's true?
My
Because-
question is not how you do it. It's does Stevie suggest it?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
No,
Just
I
go
mean,
ahead and cook them. Scramble them up.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
like,
River will scramble some brains for everyone's. I guess this is dinner at this point.
Hold on. In real life knowledge, do people actually eat deer brains?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I feel like you guys are just pulling one over me.
No.
Like, I mean, like, we're city people. We've never even seen a bear outside of a zoo. So, seriously?
People eat guinea pig?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm dead fucking serious.
All right, we gotta end this
Zorn-
conversation. Moving on. Moving on.
One are in rural Virginia, and that is most definitely a thing.
Mhm.
I'm not even a big fan of like venison itself, but yeah, it's not for me. But people do it.
I mean, I know people kill deer. I mean, obviously, but I didn't think the brains were something that happened too.
I mean, it's also not uncommon for people to just take the raw heart and eat it on the first hunt they do.
Yep, I did that.
No, thank you.
I didn't like eat the whole heart. I just bit it.
Kalima.
Oh, I just did it.
Well, anyway,
Were you
Thing that-
dare? No,
River
okay, never
cooks
mind.
up the brain and some of the meat. I assume there's
Really
enough
training.
meat for everyone to have to like put it in for everyone and have leftovers.
Oh yeah, like you guys have meat for like weeks now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right. Well, she cuts it up into manageable size and she'll stick it in the rest of it in the bag of holding.
All right, yeah. So River has like an evening of butchering a deer. I don't know if River knows how to do that.
No, she would definitely be getting guidance or having Stevie do it.
Well, I guess you could say she butchered it.
Yeah, Stevie can do it.
Yeah, for the most part,
Okay, I'll do it. I'll cut it
River
up.
will cook
Yeah, so
whatever is
Stevie
given
butchers
to
the
her.
butchers the deer for you. So now it's in packages that are
Yeah.
you can pull out bits of it at a time.
Yeah. To be honest, I've been assuming Stevie has been doing that with the squirrels. Anything that Stevie's bringing back, I'm assuming that
Sure.
Stevie is doing it because I don't think that's something River would know how to do.
Like a squirrel wouldn't be difficult to figure out. A squirrel's pretty easy to figure out, but a deer is complicated.
Got it.
Figuring out how to get the meat off of a deer is not easy.
Got it. But yeah.
So, but but that's something that Stevie has done many times, so she can definitely do it. Cool. All right, so you guys got food, and the impression is that you will be arriving to the village the next morning. Let's go ahead and establish I watch
River will go first
and
again,
watch.
if no one has a problem with it.
Giles gonna join River from the first watch.
Okay.
All right, River and Giles, we got going first. Who we got going second?
Wait a sec.
Zero, and then was that Fizzy as well?
Yeah, I can go second too.
Okay. And third, we got.
I'll go third.
Technically, she could go third and fourth.
She definitely could. Do you want to do that, Stevie?
Yeah, I'll go third and fourth. That's fine.
Okay. Rag, if you want to join her for one of those watches, you can.
I'm
Or
kind of
join.
whether or
any of
not he kind of want. He's been on watch every single time they've been out. He's probably fucking tuckered. But at the same time, he'd also be like, "Ugh, I really don't want anybody to go out on their own. So yeah, I suppose I'll go with Stevie.
Okay, you want to say you'll join her for the. You'll just wake up early and join her for the fourth watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, he probably wants to keep an eye open out for fucking jail. I mean,
Oh, come on, don't be like that, Rag. All night.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with the watches here. River and Jael, you guys, everyone, you finish your meal. Everybody kind of takes a little bit of downtime to relax, and then you kind of all separate to your beds, save for River and Jael, who have their first watch. I need both of you guys to make perception checks. All right. So as you're sitting there, Jael, you're talking to River, explaining some, like where the direction you're headed, and maybe talking about the forest and how it's kind of weird. And you're kind of focused in on talking to her. River, you kind of you're listening to Jael, but you're looking out into the woods. Trying your best to see through these dense, dark forest, and you see something. It's quick, just a flash, as if a bit of metal or something into the forest had maybe caught some of the light from your campfire, and it kind of made it light up briefly.
Shit, did you see that?
You what?
I saw something metallic glowing for a second out in the woods.
No, I was talking.
And at that, both of you feel in your back the point of a dagger just pressing in enough to let you know that it's there.
Shit.
And Jael, you hear a voice behind you. And it says, "Ah, Jael. I wasn't sure if you'd be coming back to us or not."
You really have to stick that thing in the back.
Well, we gotta be careful about who's coming. And, you're not coming alone. You understand.
Yes, but we have a little situation here. So, part of the intrusion of guests, but they have to see them through it or village.
And why do they have to see her?
One of our own is in trouble. We turn it back on them, can we?
One of our own. One of our own was with them.
I know what you're thinking, but it's not like that. Me, I would have taken care of them if that was the case.
Who is it?
Klonoa.
At that, you feel both of you feel the daggers withdraw. And you hear them get sheathed. And you turn around. Jael, you see there before you, dressed in dark blue clothing that is sort of cinched tight at the wrists and around the ankles, with a hood up, not a cloak, but like a hood up, and then a mask that goes across the bottom of the face so that it just reveals the top half of the face. And you see a man in front of you. Can't deduce the race, but a man. And then there is a woman next to him, dressed in very similar clothing. And it's like dark blue, dark purple. Like it's purple. It's like a dark purple. Violet, if you will. I will say that you do recognize the voice This is the man that was speaking to you is Coda. He is the sort of overseer of the guard of the village. They're not really the guard, but they're the ones who keep watch around the perimeter, you know.
Well, you certainly haven't changed in all this time.
Listen, we've got some customs that we have to make sure we maintain. If we start slipping up now, then, who knows what could happen. But you say it's Klonoa that was with them. Where is he?
River, can I?
River will reach into and pull out the bag that contains Klonoa and hand it over.
And she puts the bag in his face. Right here.
Oh, gods. All right. Well, you're close enough now. I think this is important enough. Let's get everyone up and let's go.
River's eyes don't leave the bag.
What?
River's eyes do not leave the bag. She is watching it like a hawk.
Giles turns over to River. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to Chloe. Want to get everyone up?
She'll whistle and then go, "Everyone, you need to wake up."
So all of you kind of you wake up and you kind of look out of your tents
We got
and you
company.
see. Do what?
Oh, I was just going, "We have company."
Yeah, you see now as you look out of your tents, these two dark dressed figures, and now you see coming in, circling around, you see 10 more. It just kind of encircled the camp, and the camp is kind of built up against like a large rock. It's like built up against that, and you look up and you see that there are some like on top of the rocks looking down at you. All of them have like either daggers or like these short swords that are, the blades are completely straight. They are single edged, and they kind of like come up straight, and then when it goes into like, or it gets to the point, it's like a sharp angle to the point.
You guys really brought out the welcoming party.
Well, honestly, ever since that hag set up shop, we haven't gotten many visitors out this way. So when they do come, we're extra careful.
Was it that old lady that was in with the cat?
Right? Yeah. She means well. She really does. She just tends to creep people out and turn them away, which is beneficial for us. So we help her out a little bit. I'm surprised you all didn't run into her. She could have gotten you here quicker.
Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch!
I had a feeling, but I denied it! I fucking denied it! And now I regret it!
I had a feeling that you guys let them be there. You guys would have jumped right on it. But cautious and all that.
Right, I can understand that. Well, at least now you know. Anyway, get everybody up and ready, and let's get going.
She gently gives the back to River because she notices that River is not leaving her eyes.
Thank you. And she'll put it away, and then she'll go and help clean up the tent and all that, and get ready to leave.
The long game, Zoran. The long game.
Does he mean that much to you, lass?
Yes.
All right, so you guys all help to quickly break down your camp. A few of the people around you actually step in and begin to help you as well. So you're able to get your camp deconstructed rather quickly, everything loaded back up, and you begin following Jael and the two figures that were in camp. Because as you guys go to leave, once you're all packed up, you see the rest of the people that were around you. They either just kind of sink into the shadow and completely disappear, or they like jump up into a tree and then jump over into another tree and then they're just gone. You can't see them anymore. Like these people are, it's pretty freaking cool. You begin following Jael and these other two figures. And as you're walking, the man speaks up and speaks to you, River, since you were the one that was there, and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you such a fright. But we have to keep our village secret for our own reasons. And if you all are going to be coming into our village, I need to be confident that you all will be content to keep it a secret as well."
Of course. Sorry. Of course. No, we come here out of desperate need, not to destroy your way of life.
And I'm really good at keeping secrets.
We might want to blindfold her.
Well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Koda. I am the overseer of the watch.
It's nice to meet you.
Here in Itiri. We will we'll take you to the druid, and hopefully she'll be able to help. I'm sorry to hear about Klonoa. I'm not sure how you all managed to cross paths with him, but he was a good kid.
He's a good man. He's got lots more to do.
Right.
The onions.
Well, let's be off. And then you all begin to make your trek. And as you walk, the forest is just darkness around you. But luckily, you guys are able to see through your various means and follow along. Eventually, you start walking up. And you notice that you are walking up what is essentially it's a mountain that it turns into a hike. You are hiking through the night to get to the village, hiking up this mountain, and it takes you a good couple of hours until you finally come to you hiked up to the basically one of the lower points of the mountain. But as you get towards the top and walk out, there's a small clearing where there's a rock face, and you look down and you see where the mountains sort of all surround in sort of a bowl shape around what is this village down in the middle of this valley. You see lights that are lighting up the various streets, if you can call them that. It's a very small village. You see these buildings made out of red wood that are some of the windows glowing with candlelight from behind them. And there is a a river, really more like a creek that runs through the middle of the village, and you see at various points where there are these short bridges made out of the same red wood as the buildings, but they're like the bridges that like go up and then back down, like they arch across this creek to get to each side of the village. It is surrounded by this dense forest, and there's just this one clearing, for this village. It's really kind of a beautiful sight looking down at it. Quaint but beautiful. And you guys begin to make your way down the rock face toward the village on a pathway that sort of walks down this almost practically sheer cliff face toward the village. It's precarious, not the most comfortable walk, especially if you're like afraid of heights or something. But you make your way down the cliff face, and we'll pick up there next week.
No!
Man! So close, yet so far. So, was the hag a random encounter, or did you plan all that shit?
He planned we were going to, but I think he still wanted us to go in for the tea.
Because that was a real good tie at the end. Like, fuck, man. But I was like, did he plan that, or did that, just kind of all magically DM style come together real well?
I thought of it like basically right at the very beginning of the session.
Gotcha. You're like, if everyone's gonna be sus about this, they're gonna regret it.
Yeah, I wanted to put in a character that's like super creepy, just to see how you guys would react.
Yeah.
I mean, River did promise that she'd think about coming back on her way back.
So did Fizzy. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, she's aware that, while she is a little creepy, essentially a nice person, she's more likely to actually do it.
And when the cat was like, well, people come in and then they just magic away or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try not to meta again with this shit. But now it all makes sense.
Yeah, the meta kind of got me. I was going to try to make friends with her, and then I saw the meta and go, oh god, brain, okay, what do I do? Interreg, I don't know. And then me, like, what do you, I want to die! And he's like, okay,
I really want the cat.
There's more to her if you guys do ever like go back,
I'm gone now.
I mean, if you guys get
Watch,
the chance
she's really
to,
going to turn out to be evil still, and this is all going to be like a big giant trick. We're going to go there.
Stop!
We're gonna get Klonoa back and go to sleep that night, and then wake up and we're like tied up inside her hut. We never got past her.
Oh my gosh, that would be
The
creepy.
movie, The Visit.
She was just like casting modify memory on you guys to make you think that that's what was happening, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so many ways.
I could wreck your guys' like lives with that, but I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, okay.
No, just
Doing
Fizzy
the-
ends up in there because she got like charmed by the freaking cat
do
and
that.
walked off
Okay, cool.
and never
Go
came
on,
back.
do it. I did it anyway. I know, I'm just fucking.
Man. She's still gonna like try to suck her soul or something to be young again. Or something. Something. There'll be something. There has to be something. No one is just a sweet old lady in this world.
I was very tempted to go inside.
I was really tempted too. We lost somebody. Oh no, there's the music.
But yeah. I had reasons for her not going to do it. Because I was trying
You were
really...
focused.
Yeah, River was super focused, and I was trying really hard not to meta. Go, oh, my head's telling me it's probably this. I should not do this. And I'm like, well, would River know this? Probably not. So she'd at least be polite and,
I mean, now that like basically a character has told you in game that she means well, I feel comfortable telling you that she is when it comes to like hags or like witches, they are either good or bad. They're good or evil, but they can be good.
Oh yeah.
But either way, they're still witches. They're still creepy as fuck.
And definitely not someone you cross.
Right. Yes, of course.
I mean, she could be like, come in for tea, and then she likes one of us a lot, so then we become her porcelain doll, and everyone else goes on the adventure. I don't know.
I had a
Or we
completely
become her
different
second
thought.
cat.
I thought if we were going to, I thought if we were going to ignore it, like, run around in the loop until we actually went inside her house.
This is crazy. There was like 1.5 million different ways that could have went. We had
Oh, yeah.
so.
All I'm saying is ninjas.
I'm gonna ask the people around there about my hill once we're done.
Ooh.
I mean, you're assuming that in this world, ninjas and samurai exist in the same place.
I mean, they've probably like I don't know, dude.
I mean, like,
Some form of it, but not maybe with those terms.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have, like, I don't think necessarily gotten out much, but, like, I don't know, they're the type of people that have been around, if that makes sense, so.
Yeah, that's a good vibe. I mean, that's the thing, like,
Like, they're secretive, but, like, they definitely have the skills to go out and, like,
yeah, you guys have no idea what this place is, and who knows, maybe you'll find out. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Rag has another, crisis of identity and doesn't trust his gut.
Hey, it happens, man. It's real.
I like how Rag started out being like the quintessential like fighter character, and now has turned into like he is still the quintessential fighter character, yet he is constantly going through emotional turmoil, which is never what is happening to like most fighter characters, because most fighter characters are just people who just want to be like, I just want to do combat battle maps.
No, Rag's deep, man. He's got
Rag's
his
just
own issues.
always in a constant crisis of conscience.
Yeah.
I mean, part of IRL me is kind of to blame for that, but
Well, I think
No, that's
your
fair.
person is still finding himself. you
I
know what
also
mean?
like that Zero is still the devil on his shoulder, and River's still the angel on his shoulder. Like River's
Yes,
constantly
I
going,
hate that.
"No, Rag, it's
like
okay.
River.
You'll be fine. Everything will work out." Zero
Zero's
keeps
like,
walking up to her and going, "You're fucking up. Do better."
yeah,
Like, he's trying to talk to Rag in his own way, which I respect.
yeah,
That brotherly talk world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's not like I was like mean to him.
No.
I was
No.
just trying to impart knowledge to him.
You both have different
No,
ways of viewing
but
things.
but I love that there's still
It was
dynamic of-
essentially just Zero saying like, "Hey, we need to tank." Like that's
Yeah.
what we need
Yeah,
to
put on
do.
your tank stance, dude.
That's exactly what it was. It was Zero saying, "Hey, you forgot your tank stance."
So, are you two
Like,
giving him
just-
identity
just-
crisis, baby?
Gentle reminder, you know, just a gentle, very Final Fantasy 14-esque reminder, like, "Hey, man, don't forget your tank stance."
Yeah, but then there's me actually going like, oh fuck, I'm the worst player ever.
Yeah, that's actually what would happen in real life too. Interesting.
And then River's the friend who's coming and trying to pick up the pieces and put them back and going, no, don't fall apart yet.
And then in reality, once they put on tank stance, I pull like 15 groups of mobs, no issue.
And then you realize you had the power inside you all along.
Yeah.
Cliche anime mode.
The
Yeah,
fucking
right.
friend making thing is like fucking Kingdom Hearts strat.
Here, I'll play this for you guys. This is the music that was gonna play if you guys went in the house.